But David Riccio is standing by now. David Riccio is coming to us live from Conveyor Logistics at Epping in Victoria. Conveyor Logistics for your warehouse automation solutions. There's a couple of big public appearances today. Mr. Beast is on the Opera House stairs. There'll be maybe 10, 20,000 people. And David Riccio at Conveyor Logistics, I am told we're nudging 10 staff there. So let's go to David Riccio now.
And now on Breakfast with Vossy and Brandy, the back page with David Riccio.
How's the weather down there, Dave?
Yeah, good morning, boys. Yeah, look, I'm that slow clap sounds reminiscent of the atmosphere right in front of me, to be honest. So
yeah, we can hear
the crowd.
Yeah,
they're all there to see you, David. So there's a little, as we understand it, there's a little A-frame sign out the front. The Telegraph's David, and it says Riccio. They've misspelled your name. Is that correct? They got your name wrong?
Yeah.
So
They've gone the Italian pronunciation, and which is fine. I don't mind that.
Fine.
But look, it might lure a couple of the Italian folk in. Let's hope.
Yeah, but they're a good mob. Conveyor Logistics for your warehouse automation solutions. They can't spell, but they're very good at what they do elsewhere. So have a cup of tea with Dave Riccio on Origin Day. I couldn't think of much better. I think that's just a great way to start.
Dave, any Origin news? Is there any late changes? Any news coming out of the Origin camps?
Yeah, look, it's all been pretty smooth sailing, guys, I've got to say, as far as this prep is concerned. No late changes I'm expecting. I will say this, guys, and it really hasn't been mentioned throughout the 10-day prep. And I'm looking at a performance from Jaden Sewer, the Queensland back rower, this evening, guys. I can tell you that if there was to be any changes or thought of change going into Origin 2, there was a suggestion emanating out of the Maroons camp that maybe we could make a change there with Jaden Sewer. Now, it wasn't that Jaden Sewer was horrifically bad in Origin 1. It was just that they thought he was one player that probably didn't play to his absolute potential. And with the availability of Kurt Capewell, there was some discussion. Do we make a change potentially just to stiffen this up? And knowing that Jaden didn't play his absolute best game. So keep an eye on that one, guys. It could be a game where Jaden Sewer, certainly there's been discussions, and Jaden's gone on the record and spoken publicly about how he was disappointed in his own game. So ultimately, the injury to Jermaine Hopgood, of which, guys, just as a subplot, he's now on his way to meet specialists for potential back surgery, which could be season defining for the Eels lock forward. His unavailability for the Maroons ultimately eased that pressure on Jaden Sewer to keep his spot. But yeah, look, it's just a little bit of news coming out of the Maroons camp. As far as the Blues are concerned, Brandy, I expect them to be 1 through to 17. And the tip is that Zach Lomax will take the goal kicking duties.
Well, let's talk about the goal kicking. So is it right to say that the two teams would only get one short stint on the field? Because this is a venue they are not used to kicking at. So for Zach Lomax, it'll be the first time in his career. People talk about getting your bearings. Even when you go to the SCG, can be a little difficult. MCG is bigger. So real pressure on the goal kickers tonight. So how much time will they get? Is it literally half an hour each on the MCG, something like that?
Yeah, it's rough. It is roughly that, Vossy. It's not a lot of time, and you're right. Like this has been a big talking point within both camps, both the general play kickers and also the goal kickers on adjusting to the ground. We know the Maroons have really struggled at the MCG. They've lost 4 of the past 5 Origin clashes at the ground. And so that's definitely been a talking point within the Maroons camp. Daly Cherry Evans, as we know, an elite level general play kicker. But goal kicking, it will be an adjustment. Just on the oval-shaped ground, and you lose your bearings. It's something Andrew Johns talks about all the time. And Brandy, I don't know if you were involved with Freddie. Did Freddie's team get an MCG game? I can't recall. And just how much
18,
how much of
game. First
and,
game 2018 series.
Yeah, and you being a general play kicker when you were playing, I know it was a talking point at that time.
It was, but there was no problems. There didn't seem to be a problem with the kickers and the Perth ground and Adelaide. And Perth ground is a mirror of the MCG in terms of size. It's exactly the same. And no one really had any issues. I don't think there'll be issues with either general play kicking or goal kicking tonight. But
I remember, Brandy, was it not the year? That year was the year Freddie got the team to walk to the ground. So you just walked in amongst the public. Was that right? Is that how you went?
That's right.
Yeah, just walked down from the Pullman, down the hill and to the MCG.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Now, talking about season defining, the Warriors taking on the Broncos this weekend. It might be season defining. But you had a chat with Cameron George on a couple of the individuals that have certainly raised some chat. Shaun Johnson and Fanua Blake.
Yeah, Brandy, they've been the hot issues at the Warriors, certainly in most recent weeks. The future of Shaun Johnson and also the situation with Adam Fanua-Blake. And, guys, it has been doing the rounds. Certainly I've received a lot of correspondence from fans and from whispers in the game as far as a connection with Dylan Brown heading to the Warriors. And I raised all these issues with Cameron George yesterday, of which, just firstly, you're right about that Broncos game, Brandy. They held a team meeting yesterday, the Warriors, of which was basically that moment in every club season when they're struggling, where they define and make a decision on where they want to be and who they want to stand for. And that was the meeting yesterday at the Warriors. I'm really eager to see the response. A home game, yet again sold out, guys. This is where the responsibility is now on the Warriors players. The New Zealand public have wrapped their arms around this Warriors football club, and now in this state of lack of form at this point in time, they have to respond. The Warriors players, they've got a responsibility for the game, because of where they've been able to take this, take the code, and so therefore against the Broncos, huge match. Shaun Johnson's future, guys. This is going to be fascinating because he's now out for 4 weeks with an Achilles injury. And I can tell you that an offer sits on the table.
Yeah, David, just on the injury, I've heard hamstring and I've heard Achilles. Is it a hamstring? Yeah. Is it a new injury? Or is it just the reoccurrence of the Achilles?
Yeah, it is. He did have hamstring problems, Brandy. There was certainly a hamstring issue, of which he recovered from, and has now picked up an Achilles injury. So it's a new injury. And this is going to be the biggest factor. Shaun's body has let him down over the past 2 seasons. We remember that he missed the qualifying final against the Panthers last year due to injury. And here we are again. He will miss at least a month of football. As I said, with a contract to play next year on the table. Now, I believe that's decreasing the likelihood of him playing by the day. I think he's now longer odds than ever before to go around again next season. Time will tell on what happens there. But the Warriors have 3 capable halves as far as options are concerned, which is why Cameron George was so quick to dispel these Dylan Brown rumours. He said categorically, absolutely no discussion whatsoever from our end, or any approach whatsoever from Dylan Brown's camp, not happening. So, interestingly the other key point is the future of Adam Fanua-Blake. Now, at this point in time, Adam Fanua-Blake remains a Warrior and is committed to finishing his career at the Warriors. The other catch to that, guys, is his destination club, the Cronulla Sharks. They simply don't have any salary cap space nor room to get him in. So I feel as though Adam will see his future out at the Warriors.
Okay. Just while we're talking player movement and nothing doing with Dylan Brown, although Dylan would be a great signing for any club. Chad Townsend and the Bulldogs, they've met. Do you think this will happen? Chad Townsend to the Bulldogs, David?
Oh, look! I certainly know that Chad is looking at all his options beyond this season at the Cowboys. Unlikely to be there, And given his experience and where the Bulldogs are at, in this process of still waiting for a couple of young halves to come through, i.e. Mitchell Woods. We saw him in the under-19s New South Wales game. And they do have Toby Sexton coming off contract at the end of next year. So, look, it would only be a stopgap solution for the Bulldogs. And merely at this point in time, a discussion point. I don't think anything serious has eventuated to now. But an experienced halfback is Chad Townsend. And guys, we've seen the value of those halfbacks, and at the right price, Chad would be a decent pickup.
Very, very interesting. Now, just on the team list Tuesday, one of the more interesting inclusions, Matt Arthur, to make his NRL debut. And I said earlier, and Brandy's right, it's Brad Arthur's call in the end, but I still find it sad that Mum's there, brother's there, but Dad won't be. I just say as a fellow parent, I think Brad Arthur should be there presenting the jersey to his son with the whole family. But, I find that a little sad, that part of the story.
Yeah. Vossy, I spoke to Brad Arthur yesterday. I conveyed the exact same message. I actually said, Brad, I think it's sad. I think it's sad that you're not able to share that moment. Such a special moment that Matt has dreamed of, ever since he was a little boy, and of which Brad has watched every step unfold before his own eyes. However, Brad, being the level-headed character he is, said, "Look, this is not about me. It's got nothing to. It's not about my moment. It's Matt's moment." And he knows that even his presence in that dressing room would certainly put the spotlight on the fact that Brad's in the dressing room and back in the Parramatta dressing room, and taking the focus away from his own son's moment. He said, "Absolutely, I'll be in the grandstands. I'll be there." But there's nothing to say that his mother and brother Jay can't share that moment with him. And he said, "Look, Matt knows how proud I am of him, and he doesn't need to be me in the rooms at that point in time."
We'll be there too, Andrew. We'll be in Newcastle.
Oh, we will too. Yes, of course we will.
Yeah,
be. Yes,
we'll be in Newcastle Saturday,
We
5:30.
might have a little road trip. Can I help in with you on the way home? I'll catch a train up, maybe.
Why not?
We have a little road trip home, Brandy.
And don't eat anything, because we'll stop in on the way up and pick up some
penny.
Maccas, and then we'll pick up some Maccas on the way back too. Henny penny when we're there.
Penny. Going to Newcastle
now,
with Brandy.
David, speaking of Newcastle, Will Price will make his debut for NRL debut. The young Englishman, Jack Cogger cops it in the neck. They're moving around their halves again.
Yeah. I've got concerns, guys. No, certainly not on Will Price's ability. We know that he's a very talented young player. But just a high rotation of halves. The absolute... And it's been going since almost round 2 and 3 at the Newcastle Knights. They just cannot settle on who their halves combination is. That's highly concerning for me on how quickly they can find traction with yet another set of halves at the Knights and still be finals bound. That's a worry. And at what point do the Knights make?
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't.
No, I don't.
But it's the same. Look,
yeah.
But yeah, that's what that football club would be thinking and striving for. They would,
of course,
they'd be striving for that. And I don't see how you can do it with such an inconsistent team selection and high rotation of halves, what has been throughout this season.
Quick question for you, Dave, and I agree with you, but when blokes don't aim up, I guess, and you've got another option, you've just got to try and find that right combination. Can you go to the press conference tonight, and if Queensland lose, your first question needs to be to Billy, how are the boys, Billy? Did they take it like true Queenslanders?
Nice.
Yes.
Take it like a true Queenslander.
Throw that in.
Yeah.
Just get that going.
Yeah. Also on the text, Jimmy's text in saying, has the staff at Conveyor Logistics gone on smoko? It's gone very quiet there behind you. Can you get them back to work, David? Oh, there they are. They're back
There you go.
That text was from Aaron too. Thank you, Aaron, for the text on advice for David.
So anyone who's in the Epping area in Melbourne, David Riccio is there at Conveyor Logistics. When automation is key to your business's success, trust Conveyor Logistics for your warehouse automation solutions. David, enjoy Origin night there in Melbourne.
Give us a score, Dave.
I've got the Blues by 1, guys. Zach Lomax's field goal seals the victory for the Blues.
Big.
Anything by 1 for the Blues.
That's an exotic. We'll put you down.
What's your last words today, David?
Hey, thank you, boys. Go well.
Very nice. Very low-key there. That's his speech to the masses there. Now, I'll give you a stat around Origin. So this is the 14th Origin series where there has been a game at a neutral venue, Brandy. Okay, so this is 13 previous occasions. There have been Origin series where a game was played at a neutral venue. How many times has the team that won at the neutral venue won the series out of those 13 times?
Oh.
How many? Out of 13 times.
Well, I'm just trying. I'm thinking recent. I'm thinking over the last 7 years. I'm going to say, even over the last 6 or 7 years, I'm going to say 5. So I reckon big.
It's big.
I reckon
big.
Big.
It's 11. 11 of the 13 years. So, yeah, for New South Wales, obviously have to win to keep the series alive. But Queensland, if they do, it just cements the fact that the neutral venue has proven to be the key to series wins. There's so many stats because we've been going so long. I mean, this is the 131st Origin match, so you can crunch numbers from all different angles, but that is just one of them. David Riccio there highlighted Queensland's poor record at the MCG. That'll be spoken about as well. So all that. What have you been laughing? Another text?
Yeah, it's a good one. Oh, my God, fellas, just choked on my cornflakes. Please, no Chad Townsend to the Dogs. Woods needs to be in the side next year.
And a lovely one as we go to a break, and we really do enjoy the banter. The Dirty Eel says, morning, boys. Did the whole theme parks in Queensland with a family in March. What a something hole up the Blues. Isn't that nice little tourism promo? Can't read it out word for word, but thank you, Dirty Eel, for a really nice text on Origin Day.